Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern suburban house for all of your city building needs. In this tutorial, I will show you how to make the entire outside and inside of the build. If you have any suggestions on what I should make next, please leave a comment down below. No matter what it is, I'd love to see what you guys would like to see. Watch until the very end of the video to see where we place our house in our city. This is the amount of space required to make the house. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Begin the build by placing 8 light grey concrete in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. Right by 2, 1, 2, in by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then right by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, forwards by 3, 1, 2, 3, right by 2, 1, 2, in by 2, 1, 2, and then right by 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to extend backwards by 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to extend across the back of the build by 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend forwards 1, right 1, forwards 1, right 1, forwards 1. Return to this block, extend to the right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend forwards 1, return to this block, extend right, back, extend all the way over to the right, and then join all the way back to where we first started. We then want to place an additional 1, 2 rows of light grey concrete directly on top of every single light grey concrete that we have placed thus far. Next, we are going to fill the entire top of our shape in using oak planks. Next, we are going to place 3, 1, 2, 3 black stained glass on top of the front left hand corner of our house. We then want to place 2 more rows extending right of it, add a row of light grey concrete to the right of that, 3 more rows of glass, 1, 2, 3, then place a row of light grey concrete. We then want to extend the light grey concrete forwards by 2 rows. We then want to place a row of black stained glass back and to the right of the light grey. We then want to add a row of light grey here, extending upwards, and a row behind it. Then we want to place a light grey concrete, a glass, a dark oak door, a glass, 2 light grey concrete, extend our glass up an additional row, and then place light grey concrete across the top of the glass and make it as high as all of the other rows, like this. We then want to extend our row of light grey concrete forwards, place a row of glass in front of and to the right of this, and then a row of light grey concrete in front of and to the right of that, extend backwards by 2 rows, place 3 rows of glass extending right, 1, 2, 3, add a layer of light grey concrete, and then 3 rows of glass, 1, 2, 3, and then extending along the back of the build, we want to place 2 rows of glass, 1 and 2, followed by a row of light grey concrete, 3 rows of glass, 1, 2, 3, light grey concrete, and then 3 rows of glass, 1, 2, 3, extending across the back of the build, 2 rows of glass, a row of light grey concrete, 3 rows of glass, 1, 2, 3, and then we want to place a row of light grey concrete, a row of glass, which we then want to extend forwards, place light grey concrete to the right of this, and extend forwards, and to the right, and forwards. We then want to place 3, 1, 2, 3 glass extending to the right, and they of course all want to be the same height as the other rows. And then we want to place light grey concrete to the right of this, extend forwards, and then right, and then forwards again. We then want to place a row of glass, extend that glass backwards, place a row of light grey concrete to the right of that, and then 3 rows of glass, 1, 2, 3, a row of light grey concrete, 3 rows of glass, extending and connecting to the front of the build, we place 2 rows of glass, followed by a row of light grey concrete, 3 rows of glass again, 1, 2, 3, a row of light grey concrete, and then we simply just want to fill this little gap in with glass. Now we are going to make the roof structure, as it will make the rest of the build a little bit easier. Place a light grey concrete here and here. We then want to place a polished deep slate slab here, extending off of the light grey concrete, extend forwards, right, and then extend inwards and upwards until we line up with the front door. Do the same here on this opposite side, so we hang a slab off, extend forwards, and then extend left and up until we eventually hit the middle point. What we will find is that half of these blocks are actually polished deep slate. These blocks we can extend all the way backwards until we overhang the back of the build by 1 row. We want to do this in every single instance that we would have a solid deep slate block rather than just a slab. We are then going to extend just at the ends of the roof backwards like this, and then we are going to start extending and connecting up, let's come and get this slab as well, the outline of the roof. So we just want to connect it together just in the middle like this, and this just gives us the frame. This is useful because now that we have the frame, we can start extending the light grey concrete up here and above and across the windows until we reach the point that we aren't able to place it anymore. So it's actually easier to show rather than tell, I think, for this part. So as you can see, from here to here, just above these windows, we want to extend a row of light grey concrete up that kind of just fills in the empty space underneath the roof. And once we have done that, we can extend and connect all of our slab blocks to all of the light grey concrete that we have placed. So we just want to fill in all of these gaps just like this. We might even have to extend this light grey concrete up as well, just so that that gap is filled in. So that's perfect. And not only do we want to do this on the back of the build, but we want to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the front. So once again, we are just using light grey concrete. I actually think it's easier from the inside as well. We're using light grey concrete to just fill in any gaps that we may have in between the structure of the house and the roof. And it's easy to fix if we don't manage to get them all. I think that, oh, see, we missed a block here. Nice and easy to fix. And then once we are satisfied or semi-satisfied, we can extend all of our slab blocks backwards and we can connect just like this. I'm noticing that maybe this should be a light grey concrete. Actually, no, that shouldn't be a light grey concrete because it would look a little bit strange like that. So there we go. That actually looks perfect. So now that we have done this, next we can work on the rest of the roof by placing polished deep slate directly on top of the rest of the structure of the house. This will kind of form two part rectangle shapes. You guys will see what I mean. We will also just have to destroy a block or two just to make the deep slate fit basically wherever the slabs are, but this is what we're looking for. And then we are able to place polished deep slate slabs around the bottom of the polished deep slate that we have just placed, like this. This should just sit half a row lower than the central part of the roof. Now, this is a good time to connect the central part of the roof together, just front to back, using polished deep slate slabs, as this will make the next part a little bit easier. So now, as you can see, we are left with two empty rectangular shapes. All we have to do is simply add an additional and final layer of polished deep slate slabs that extend from the central roof and cover up all of that pesky empty space that we had. With the roof complete, we are now going to finish the back of the house. So to start with, we will place a stripped spruce wood here, in this position, extending off of the back corner of the house, with a row of grass block that simply extends around the curvature of the back of the house, leading all the way to this opposite corner, where we will place a stripped spruce wood. Notice that for the central part of the house here, we have just filled in this gap as if it doesn't exist. We will then place stripped spruce wood all the way around the edge of our grass, just like this. Then we want to extend our stripped spruce wood upwards by 2 rows. Fill the middle of this in with grass. And then add your favourite plant to it. I'm really enjoying ferns at the moment. Turning our attention to the front of the build now, we are first of all going to make the left side decking. To do this, we will place 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 oak planks extending out of that block. Extend to the right by 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Connect to the house. Now, before we fill this in, we want to place oak trapdoors at the front of this decking like this, underneath the oak planks, and we want to flip them up so that they are nice and flush with the edge of the oak planks, like this. We are then able to add chains along the outside of this. We want to leave a small gap here just as we connect to the house, and then we want to place spruce trapdoors on top of these. So we can't really get this perfect, but the idea is to place them so that they go long ways with the chains, so to speak. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Maybe it's easier to do it from the ground like this. So let's just take a look. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we are able to fill the deck in with oak planks. And then we are going to add a small furniture set by placing a dark oak stair here, flare it to the left, flare it to the right, leave a gap, and then place a double row of dark oak slab just like this. On the opposite side of the house, we have a similar thing. However, we are going to place 2 rows of stripped spruce wood extending forwards out of the front right-hand corner of the house. Then we are going to place a row of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oak planks extending out from the top of the stripped spruce wood, left by 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we will connect back to the house. We then want to have the same row of oak trap doors underneath the front of the decking that are flipped up nice and flush with the oak planks. Looks good. And then we can add our chains. And we do just want to leave our gap as well. And then I think what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to extend this stripped spruce wood across, add the grass. Then I'm going to stick the ferns in there as well. Might even make that a little bit higher, just so that it's a little bit higher than the decking. We'll keep it at that for now. And then we are going to add the oak planks to the top of the decking. And then I'm going to try adding the trapdoors. Although, I'm not convinced that it won't be easier just to drop off of the decking and then place them. I think it might be. As a matter of fact, I have never tried that. If you just float above them, actually, and just place them directly on top of the chains instead of onto the other trapdoors, that actually works even better. That might be the easiest way of doing it. Ha! How about that? And then we can extend the trapdoors. That is not the right position. We can extend the trapdoors across like this and connect back. And maybe we can just add chains across the planter. I think that looks pretty good. The other option is to raise these so that they are as high as the lower window, but it's kind of like a personal preference sort of thing. But I think that looks really good. So on this side specifically, we are also just going to have a hot tub. So the hot tub kind of sits in the middle of the decking. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, so it occupies these 2 middle rows. And we're just going to place 2 rows of dark oak trapdoors just flipped up on top of each other like this. The actual little hot tub will just be a 2x2 square in front of this, but we will have some oak stairs that lead into it, and we'll place some oak planks like this. And then fill it in with water. So the idea would be that we'd be able to flip the lid of the hot tub down, but we can't do that, but it kind of looks cool like this. And I really like that. I think that's a cool little addition. Do feel free to change the colour of some blocks and such, but I like it as it is. So it's all fine and well having these 2 very cool deckings, but how do we actually get up into the house? That's a good question. So first of all, we are going to place some rows of smooth stone slabs extending from in front of the entrance just like this. We are then going to place a row of smooth stone slabs underneath and in front of this just like so. We are then going to use stone slabs underneath our smooth stone slabs like so, and we want to have 2 rows of these. And then we want to add another row of stone slabs below and in front of this, and then we want to place... we'll have a solid row of stone just like this, and then in front of this we will have a row of stone just like so. So it graduates all the way down like this. And then we are just going to dig out to... I guess this would be where the street begins, and we are just going to remove all of this, and I'm just going to have an inside. Nothing fancy. You could even shorten how long this path is, if you wanted to. The street could begin right at the base of these steps, but the point is this is how we get up and down. Next, we are going to hang 2 chains from here, 1, 2, with an ochre frog light underneath them. We will then place a brown glazed terracotta here and here with azalea leaves on top and brown carpet in between, giving us this. Next, we are simply just going to add azalea leaves all the way around the base of the build. If you don't want to, you don't have to place it around this stripped spruce wood at the back of the build. Originally, I did, but I'm actually looking at it and I think it might look better without that. I think that looks really nice as it is. And then speaking of choices, it's up to you whether you want to do this. You may or may not want to exchange all of the grass block for lime terracotta. I don't know whether you will personally like that better or not. I'm kind of on the fence about it, to be honest. I'm really enjoying actual Minecraft grass at the moment, but the choice is yours. With the outside of the house complete, we can now head inside and work on the interior. First of all, we have to create a central hallway. To do this, we will place some light grey concrete around this back central window, and then we will place light grey concrete here, extending forwards 2 rows. Then we will leave a gap of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then place light grey concrete extending back. We want to raise up these rows of light grey concrete so that they leave a row of 3, 1, 2, 3 like this. So the actual size for these entrance holes are 4 rows wide and 3 rows high. We want the same on this opposite side here, so now that we've already made one of these, we can just flip over to this view, like so, and we can just quickly throw this up. So there we go, that looks about right, and then we can just fill in these gaps along the side. So wherever necessary, we just want to fill in, flatten out, smooth over. That looks all wonderful. And then we have to add some potted plants. So we are going to add some decorative pots. I might even shape this a little bit more as well. So I might kind of shape the end, like I'm tempted to add some light grey concrete around the entrance like so, just because it shapes things nicer. So like the entrance now kind of like sits just a little bit behind, and we can have some decorative pots here, 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 and here. And notice how they sit nicely, like at the same distance from the edge of the hall entrances. We can add the ferns in here. We can add a rug that connect all of these pots together. I'm just using good old-fashioned grey wool, because why not? Just like right in the middle. This looks really nice. And then we can also add some ceiling lights. So if you just place a couple of chains hanging from the ceiling, we might even be able to get another central one. No, just one at the front and one at the back I think will be fine, just like this. Might even move them a little bit closer together, but also maybe not as well. Then we can add chains and frog lights, and they look really nice. And once again, we could shuffle them up one row together as well. That might be an option, but I'm just going to leave it as is. And as we enter the house now, we just have a nice central hallway, and we have 2 different directions to go. And we could even, one of these as a slab, we could even shape the inside of the roof a little bit. So if we just added a couple of rows, I think that this matters more for the hallway than anywhere else. Then I think that this looks pretty good. Does this look better or worse? Maybe if we just remove, maybe just the 1 row of slabs actually, just in the middle. I think that definitely looks better in my opinion. 1 room down, 2 to go. Let's take care of the left side of the house first of all. Begin by placing 2 rows of 3 bookshelves along the back wall here. Place upside down dark oak stairs in such a way that they curve around the base of the bookshelves, in between the base of the bookshelves I should say. We then want to apply a painting on top of these stairs with flower pots on the ends of the stairs and ferns inside of the flower pots. We then want to leave a gap of 1 on this left side and place a dark oak slab. A sideways dark oak stairs behind it, and then extend left 1, 2, 3, just like this. We're then just going to remove these blocks in the middle, place grey carpet or grey wool, and there we have a sofa, TV, and some bookshelves. This leads us onto the other half of the room, the kitchen. We want to start off by placing 2 furnaces, 1 here and 1 here. A detector rail above one, polished blackstone pressure plate above the other, and then deep slate brick stairs above the furnaces. On the opposite wall, we want to place 2 rows of 3 black concrete with an iron bar in front of the centre left block. We then want to place In this position, we place a light grey concrete, one to the right, cauldron, light grey concrete, and then place light grey concrete in front of this, with a lever here, 2 flower pots here, 2 item frames here, and here we have a super simple modern kitchen. But what we also need to do is just clean up the roof area a little bit as well. So this involves us grabbing the polished deep slate and replacing certain blocks around the top of the edge of these walls with deep slate as well. And if we have just any slabs, then we can just remove those. And at this point, it's up to you how you want to do this. You could add a layer of slabs just around the edge of the inside of the roof like so, just along the back portions, not the central part, and I think that looks pretty good. This leads us onto the opposite half of the house. First of all, we are just going to remove these slab blocks like this, and then we have to create a separating wall by placing a row of light grey concrete from here to here. We can then extend this all the way up to the ceiling, and we can place an entrance into this area by removing 2 of these blocks here and 2 of these blocks here. We are then going to half this space, kind of. We are going to divide the space by connecting the light grey concrete here in between the windows backwards. The larger of these 2 rooms is a bathroom. So first of all, we will place 2 smooth quartz stair here against this separating wall with a stone button on one side and a lever here. We will then leave a gap, place a cauldron, oak trapdoor on top of it, and then we will have a light grey concrete here with a tripwire hook above that, item frame on top of the light grey concrete, and then a couple of dead bubble coral fans just in front of where the bath is, and we might even place a banner just on the wall here just so that it looks like a towel. And there you have a super tiny modern bathroom. So the opposite side, the even smaller small room, is the tiniest closet that you have ever seen. So we will place an armor stand here, a chest here, and then just 2 end rods extended above these for a coat rack, and there you go, just a very tiny walk-in closet. Which leaves the rest of the room, the larger part of the room. First of all, we will mount a TV on this wall, so we are going to have the same painting that we have in the living room, not that one. We want this one right here in the center of the wall like this, with a couple of rows of dead bubble coral fan in front of this to simulate a rug. And then on this opposite wall here, we will have 2 rows of free grey carpet, or rather free grey wool, I keep making that mistake, with white carpet along the back row of grey wool. We will then just quickly remove and replace those 2 light grey concretes with polished deep slate, and then we can have 2 hanging lamps. So we will have a chain here, actually here, so we'll leave a gap of 1 from either side of the bed, and then lanterns hanging from the chains, and then simply dark oak signs surrounding the lanterns just like this, and we get 2 very modern looking light designs. They look very, very cool. And there we go, incredibly modern bedroom. And with that final detail added, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our house into our city. I actually have a slight predicament with this one because it's not just a modern house, it's also a suburban house. So in my mind, it doesn't really just belong in the modern suburbs, and it doesn't really just belong in the suburbs either. And it's also kind of a little bit rural as well. It's got a lot of nature. So what I'm thinking is that we create a new modern suburbs. It's going to be a little bit more naturalistic than some of the other varieties of suburbs that we have, and it's just going to be placed on the outskirts of the city. If we put a few of these together, we make ourselves a nice street, and we now have a new subcategory of the city. How fun is that? And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. If you would like to make anything else by me, please check the description below for the mini city builds playlist. We have over 100 builds in there for you to enjoy. Alternatively, the sidebar, hopefully the next upcoming video, YouTube, or just check the channel. Consider becoming a channel member today and you will gain access to a cool avatar next to your name, some unique emojis, and access to my mini city design world containing every single build that has been added to Mini City to date. This is well over 100 builds, all chronologically ordered. Java edition only. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.